I mean, in my experience, at least, there used to be a very different conversation around build versus buy. And it
Mhm.
was more of a 50-50 kind of shot in a lot of situations. And now there are just like so many more vendors that have so many different tools. So like buy is an increasingly attractive option, especially when you're balancing that against roadmaps and engineering resource constraints and all of the constraints and impacts that we see to a business in trying to build some of these services. So when there is a vendor who's offering kind of exactly the thing that you think you need, it's very appealing. So we are definitely seeing more reliance on vendors and vendors who rely on vendors and vendors who rely on vendors who rely on vendors, and it's vendors all the way down. So I think this is a very timely conversation.
Absolutely. And I think, the last bullet is one that I am also starting to see be far more pressing for my clients, which is the fact that really now the C-suite is paying attention to vendor risk management in a way that we haven't seen in the past. It was an internal function, it was something that compliance or privacy or risk dealt with, but now it's got eyeballs on it. And it's not surprising, of course, also that the regulators have the same set of eyes on it. So you're probably here because you are contending with several of the regulations up here on the screen, either here in the US or in Europe with GDPR. And these don't even touch on, again, the AI factor that we also need to be dialed into.
Yeah, and again, just like I think the slides do a really good job of like setting the stakes, but the one thing that I wanted to kind of double down on here is that nobody knows who the vendors are most of the time. You know, whoever is kind of at the top of the stack or the biggest name in the pile gets in trouble. They are the ones to catch the heat. The court of public opinion matters as much as the regulators. I'm sure this crowd is very well aware of the Discord incident recently, which involved a third party customer service vendor. And I don't think it's one of our polling questions, but maybe should have been like, who uses third party customer service? Probably everybody. I think every company I've worked for uses them in some capacity. So just like Discord being a really prominent example of like right now in this moment, why this risk management matters and the sorts of things that can happen when you don't get it right.